you okay?
Not really.
Do you want me to come home?
I'm not at home. I'm at Chris's.
Libby, if you're there, please pick up the phone. I miss you.
I miss you too.
I hope you didn't take that from Chris Warner's.
Of course she didn't. I got it on the way there. As if I was going to drink this rubbish when I had Chris Warner's liquor cabinet sitting there waiting for me.
Well, I'm keen. Who's in?
Oh, one more way.
Look, I think I might go and help Libby clean up.
Why?
If she wanted our help cleaning up, she wouldn't have thrown us all out.
I got the feeling she wanted to be by herself. If you have to clean something, there's always my room.
No way.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Gerald?
No, look, one bottle's not going to go very far. I think I might go see Libby.
Hang on. Actually, this is the one that we got on the way. Oops.
What year is it?
1999?
Now that was a party.
Oh, yeah, right. You would have been all of, what, 10 or 11?
Early developer. So, what did everyone say?
Oh, did I have a fight with the lawnmower? You look 10 years younger, and my personal favourite. Hey, TK. I thought you'd be in bed.
Yeah, but it's warmer out here.
So turn the blanket on. That's what it's there for.
I spent all night getting this room warm. I don't want to waste it.
It takes a while, eh? Get that with these old houses.
And then you get the power bill.
You've got to be joking. $420?
I know, it's crazy.
No wonder we've got old people freezing to death.
Maybe we should get this place insulated.
Can't afford it.
We can't afford $400 power bills either.
True.
So, I thought I'd call someone tomorrow morning. It won't hurt to get a quote, will it?
Yeah, sure.
She's going to be fine.
Thank God. Can you hear me, Libby?
She'll be drowsy for a while. She inhaled a lot of smoke, but thankfully that's as far as it went. She's not really up to talking yet.
Her throat will be really tender.
Other than that, she's pretty much unscathed.
What about the house?
The fire brigade are there now. I really don't know.
Well, how did it happen? Candles? Someone lit candles at the party?
I couldn't see.
What were you doing there?
I promised Libby I'd give her my recommendations on a head of surgery replacement. And I went around to drop off some CVs, but I nearly left them in the mailbox.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't. Another 10 minutes.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
I only did what anyone would have done.
I'm not so sure about that. Most of us wouldn't have had the guts. I won't forget this.
Charming. Come on.
I want to stay here.
Just how messy is that room of yours anyway?
Very, very messy.
Well, I'll cope. I'd rather put up with that than Callum and Brooke making eyes over the breakfast table.
Come on.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, okay. No, thanks. I'd rather rest the bedroom.
Aw, John.
I'll see you in the morning. Oh, no. Hang on.
Thanks for coming out so soon.
I only live down the road. Old place like this.
But yours is insulated, though.
It is now. Their first winter.
Tell me about it. So what's the damage?
By the way, I've already taken off the $1,300 for the subsidy.
$8,000?
Well, full house insulation and a heat pump. It's a big job.
You sure you don't want breakfast before you go?
If I leave now, I can grab something at work.
All right. And you're not taking Sleeping Beauty with you?
Aha!
Oh, I wouldn't bother. She's probably still drunk.
I'll say she's sick.
Well, you wouldn't be wrong there. Sick as a dog, probably.
Bye.
Sorry, mate. I meant to do that last night.
Oh, what's the time?
Time for you to go to work.
You're still here. You're not even dressed.
Well, that's because I've got the day off.
I wouldn't use that bowl, bro. I gave it a rinse last night, but I don't think it was good enough.
Oh.
Bag's first shower, otherwise I'll be late.
You're not seriously going to work, are you?
Yep.
Why?
I'm in training for the music biz. How am I supposed to look Amy Winehouse in the eye if I can't even hack one tiny hangover? Besides, my public needs me. What are you doing here?
I seem to remember you were there for me when I ended up in hospital. There's nothing to worry about.
What happened? What did I do?
Knocked your head for one thing. Very nasty bump.
The iron. Did I burn down Chris's house?
If that was the plan, it didn't work.
No, of course it wasn't.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
I was trying to get wax out of the rug and then Chris rang.
The house is fine. There's a bit of smoke damage, of course, but the fire didn't get past the living room. Small miracle, really.
Oh, Chris will think I did it on purpose.
Don't be silly.
Well, you did.
It was a joke. I should have known better.
Callum, I have to go see him.
I don't think so, Libby.
He wanted to see me first thing.
Whatever it was, I'm sure it can wait.
Gabrielle, she's leaving.
That's right. She muttered something about that last night when she brought you in.
What?
Something about having to find a new head of surgery and recommendations, I think.
What do you mean she brought me in?
You don't remember that bit either, do you? I'd be careful what you say about Gabrielle from now on. I know you don't think much of the woman, but I won't hear a word said against her. Not since she saved my daughter's life.
It'd be nice to have a heat pump.
And insulation under every floorboard. And a holiday home in the islands. But we can't afford it.
Even with the subsidy. How much did you talk him down to?
4,000, but he reckons that's pushing it.
Payment and interest deferred for 12 months.
It's pretty tempting, eh? And if we do it now, we can save money on heating bills, which means more dosh for when the payments kick in.
You've never been a fan of hire purchase.
I know, but this makes sense. And if we're really good, we can save the whole amount and not pay any interest at all.
On top of the mortgage.
It's a bit of a stretch, but hey, what if you get pregnant? I want my wife to have a nice warm home to waddle around in.
If I get pregnant now, I'll be waddling around in summer.
Picky. Okay, I vote we get ourselves insulated. What do you think?
Okay.
I'll call him.
Phew, I thought I was late. Almost.
You're here. Where else would I be?
Morning, everyone. Some of you might have heard there was a fire last night at Chris Warner's place and my sister Libby was brought in with smoke inhalation.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she's fine.
How did it happen?
I don't know. You could go visit her in your break.
I will.
You okay?
Yeah, just a bit of a shock, that's all.
Are you sure that's all it is? You were knocking back the drinks last night?
Yeah, years of practice.
Right. Let's see. So, Mr. Johnston, 3 days post-op following an open cholecystectomy. He is independent with all ADLs and we're looking at discharge tomorrow.
No, you don't. I'll pay for that.
I've ordered a panini as well.
That won't break the bank. You must let me. It's the least I can do.
$10.50, thanks.
And a pot of tea for me, please. Thank you. Before you run away, Libby is asking for you. She's up to talking now, and I think she wants to say thank you.
No, there's really no need.
Shanti, this is Bronwyn, the financial advisor.
Hi.
Hi. I see you've already got a loan with us.
I don't think so.
$5,000 in the name of James Scott.
With Shanti Kamari as guarantor? Mm-hmm. Jimmy, last year, remember?
Oh, right.
Can I see? That's not $5,000, that's $15,000. What's all this extra that's owing?
Oh, penalties for non-payment. Oh, don't worry, we're not bang for blood yet.
Araha, where are you going?
I'm due to go for a break.
But Mrs. Faimalo rang her bell 10 minutes ago.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
You better go see her now.
Can I just nip to the loo first?
The ward's on the way. At least pop your head in the door and let her know you're not ignoring her.
I will.
Did you have fun last night?
Oh, yeah, it was okay.
Shame it ended so early. You look like you're just warming up.
I was pacing myself.
I barely had time for a drink. I was tempted to open a bottle when I got home.
Yeah, me too. Except then I remembered I had work in the morning.
And you wouldn't come to work with a hangover, would you?
I've seen other nurses do it.
So have I. But we're a bit more professional than that, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Mrs. Faimalo.
You want to know what I did last night? I cooked dinner, washed the dishes, and then fell asleep in front of the telly. Meanwhile, you're out pulling people from burning buildings.
One person. Singular.
Well, I hope you know what you're letting yourself in for. The way Yvonne's talking, she's about ready to adopt you. Must have been pretty scary. How are you?
I'm fine.
Gabrielle, please don't go. Look, it doesn't make any sense. Chris is away. You wanted to see him for months.
Oh, it's not only Chris.
I know. It's Libby.
It's me. It's this place. Sometimes you have to cut your losses.
But you'll be missed.
Until everyone finds another scapegoat.
Hey, that's not fair. We're not all Libby Jeffries. And I'm sure even she doesn't want you throwing your career away.
I won't be.
Where will you go? What will you do?
Have you heard of the Marnie Institute?
Oh, Hamilton.
I have a standing offer of a research position there. It won't be as challenging as Shortland Street, but it does have the advantage of allowing me to work alone.
Oh, right. And that's just what you need.
Social interaction never was my strong point. And after all this business with Chris...
Look, whatever people around here thought of you yesterday, that all changed last night. You're a hero.
That doesn't make me feel any better.
No, I didn't really think it would.
The minute you hear from him, call me, okay? Yeah, I know. Okay, thanks, Bex. Rebecca hasn't heard from Jimmy for the last couple of months.
She doesn't know where he is.
No idea, and his cell phone's been disconnected too, probably because he hasn't paid the bill. Why the hell didn't you check he was paying this loan off?
I did. When we went for the mortgage, everything was fine. He was still making regular payments.
Yeah, that didn't last, though, did it? He's borrowed right up to the limit and stopped paying anything.
I know. I feel terrible. 25% compound interest on top of penalties. How are we meant to service that?
I don't know. I'm not angry at you. It's Jimmy. If he has any sense, he'll never show his face again.
What are we going to do?
You can forget about insulating the house, for one thing. There's only one thing we can do. Suck up to the bank. Extend the mortgage.
Gordon Ramsay should be fired.
Sorry? Oh, he's a fussy eater, and so is she.
It depends what you're used to, I suppose.
Mrs. Lannister, diclofenac. Oh, sorry, I can't give you this till you've eaten.
Then bring me something edible. I'm not touching that.
What's wrong with it?
It's like they've taken all the rotting vegetables from the back of the fridge and blended it. My sentiments exactly.
Sorry, everybody, excuse us.
Go home.
I can't.
Why not? You're not well.
I told Maya I didn't have a hangover. Besides, You always feel better after a good chuck, don't you? Find me some paracetamol, will you?
I'd rather be calling you a taxi. What have you got there?
Ah, Mrs. Lannister had a bit of a spew. I couldn't get to a vomit carton in time, so,
She shouldn't be vomiting. She's being discharged soon.
Weird, eh? It must be something she ate. There were a couple of complaints about lunch.
You ate the same thing, did you?
How did it go?
It's all good. I just flashed my pearly whites and said please nicely. The bank manager rolled over and said yes.
Really?
As soon as they've done a new valuation on the house.
Why do they have to do that?
Oh, it's standard practice when someone wants to extend a mortgage. The work we've done on it, got nothing to worry about. Should be worth heaps more than it was.
And it doesn't hurt that my husband's a hustler.
I guess I inherited that from my dad as well as his debt.
It's only 15 grand.
Only?
Well, what is it in the grand scheme of things? It's 1 packet of chocolate biscuits a week for the kids instead of 2.
And who says my kids are getting any chocolate biscuits at all?
Oh, because you'll be hiding them all for yourself, eh, Fatty?
Rat bag. Get home and put the heaters on. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, flu season. You know what it's like. Yeah, I'll be glad when it's all over. Okay, thank you. Yeah, just tell Linda to ask for me when she gets here. Thank you. Bye. Bureau nurse will be here in half an hour. Go home.
But I've got 4 hours left of my shift.
Not anymore, you don't. You're taking it in unpaid leave.
What?
If you'd been up front with me, it could have been sick leave.
Okay, I'll remember that for next time.
I beg your pardon?
What? You want me to say that there won't be a next time? We all get sick, you know.
But we don't all put our social lives ahead of our jobs.
At least I made an effort. If I was really that slack, I wouldn't have turned up at all. I could have phoned in sick, and then you wouldn't have even had a clue.
That you'd been out boozing all night, I think I might have worked it out.
Only because you're at the same party?
No, because I know what you're like. Because this isn't the first time I've seen you stumbling through a day's work when we'd all have been better off if you'd stayed home. You've got to love this job, Aroha, or there is no point doing it.
Except for paying the bills.
Well, if that's all you're here for, fine. But you won't be here for long if you don't start showing some commitment.
What are you trying to say?
Your attitude. I want to see a big improvement, and if I don't, you can expect a written warning.
Fair enough.
Well, I'm glad you think so.
Are you feeling all right?
TK gave me something to numb my throat. Just need to get something to numb my brain.
One moment.
Perfect.
Well, I was operating under the theory that it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. It always helps to know that Angelina and Katie are feeling just as miserable as you are.
I just keep running over everything in my head, and I can't believe what Gabrielle did for me.
Have you seen her?
I told Mum to ask her to come in.
But she hasn't.
Is she still leaving?
I don't know. You can ask her yourself. I'll come back.
Recovering well, I see. Good.
Thank you for coming.
I'm due in theatre in 24 minutes. My last operation at Shortland Street, as it turns out.
I'm sorry to hear that. You don't think I mean it, do you?
I don't know.
I do. I meant it yesterday, too. I was desperate for you not to leave. But that's only because I was scared of being fired. Now,
Yvonne said you wanted to thank me. I wasn't expecting an apology.
How do you thank someone who saved your life?
Yvonne did it for you. She bought me a coffee.
Does Chris know you've resigned?
No.
He'll be disappointed when he finds out.
I wonder.
Of course he will. He was the one who picked you.
Seems like a long time ago. I know it's not.
You love this job. I know you do. Why should you leave?
Because it will make life easier for all of us.
Oh, I doubt it. Chris and I will go on making a mess of things whether you're here to help or not. That's life. It's like that. It's messy. You can't fix things by running away from them. Part of me would love to see you go. I'd be really happy not to see you every day. But it doesn't mean I blame you for this mess. And it doesn't mean I have any right to scare you away from a job you love. And I have no right to tell you what to do at all. Please, don't go.
No, I've made my decision. I'm leaving ASAP.
Hi. Hope you're hungry.
Starving.
I honestly didn't mean to make so much food. You think I would have learned by now. Hey, if you're cold, you could have one of these. They'd warm you up. Mmm. Yum. Are you okay?
Just had a phone call from the bank.
They didn't approve our loan.
It's worse than that.
What did they say?
The evaluation of the house came through.
And?
Have you noticed house prices in our area lately?
Well, I stopped looking at the ads when we got this one.
Me too.
I know that there's been a slump, though.
That's the problem. This place is worth less than what we owe on it.
It can't be. We got it for a great deal.
If you're looking at pre-recession prices, yeah, bargain.
So the banks won't give us any more money?
We're in what they call negative equity. They want another $30,000 to secure the mortgage.
How much?
You heard.
Can they do that?
Can they force us to up our mortgage payments to square the equity? Of course they can. But how the hell are we going to manage? All the while covering Jimmy's loan at the same time.
So what if we can't pay?
The bank comes around and slaps a big for sale sign out the front. And we don't see a cent. We're screwed. That's what happens.